I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
Well, Spencer was alluding to it before. There's actually two bosses here. And the first one is one of his favorites. So, Spencer, why don't you do the honors and introduce Crocomeyer?
Crocomeyer was at the time towards the bottom of the norfair map, and you push him onto a ledge. He's like this red, not as big as the other one we just talked about, but still imposing. And you push him onto like this platform, and then he falls through. And it is the most horror-focused enemy I think in the entire game. And it's so impressive they can do this without dialogue or any of that crap. They're just able to show you that he died and then came back as a skeleton and tries to attack you from behind when you think it's over.
They fall apart. It's like,
dude, I freaking jumped onto my feet when I played that and was like, hell yeah, that is so freaking cool that they're doing this in the Super Nintendo era. Like, it is so beyond its time. It just blew my mind.
There's nothing like playing that segment for the first time. And even just from entering the room, you're entering by dropping into it. Yeah. And you drop in there, and then suddenly you're in a one-to-one kind of like a boxing match where you got to ring out the opponent, and it's this chubby-looking pterodactyl alien dude. Yeah. And, he's got the arm thing, too, like he's raking with his arms. And, you only have a limited supply of missiles, and you have to use missiles to keep knocking him back. So there's always that sense of tension. On the other side of the wall, if you just go left, if you start by kind of running away, it spikes. And then you learn, oh, he's going to cave me in. So there's a lot of figuring out to do. And then, of course, there is that moment where he jumps out as a skeleton, and it's like, oh my God, am I going to have to fight again?
Yeah, the boss fight itself isn't hard, but it's just that like tense moment of like when you first, especially the first time you play, when you drop in and you have to like piece it all together. It's just like, it's like you kind of feel like you're running out of air, and you're like, I have to hurry,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very tense moment. But honestly, he's not that hard though.
Well, this game does a really good job of providing bosses that subvert your expectations. What I mean by that is in a lot of games like this, especially at the time, the way to beat a boss is a tank and spank, where they have a lot of HP and you just shoot it until it dies. And you just keep going and if you can survive, and hopefully it does it. In this game, there's a couple boss fights where the point is to outsmart your opponent or outmuscle it, but not necessarily through HP, but through level design and through weapon design. And this is a perfect example of it. You could shoot it till the cows come home and it's not going to die. The point is you're having almost like a arm wrestling match. And you have to outsmart it because it's bigger than you. And then, of course, you do.
Well, that was the thing when I first started playing this game, is that I treated the bosses, the first time I played it, I treated the bosses like I was playing like Mega Man or something. And I was just trying to drain their health, and that does not get you anywhere. Playing with that mindset is not going to get you far.
Yeah.
You like you said, you have to try to outsmart the bosses, which is cool because it really makes you feel like you're in the role of Samus. She's being an intergalactic bounty hunter. That's part of the job.
Yeah.
So
very creative, and I love like kind of all these stories told. You do get the grapple hook, which you use to like pretty much explore the whole rest of the game in previous parts that were previously inaccessible. Which we'll get to in a bit, but there is a little bit more to norfair. This is a little out of order because you wouldn't play this right away, but as you descend into other parts of norfair, you come across other Chozo sections like deeper lava where you need a different suit. I think it's like the gravity suit in order to handle the heat. Can you handle the heat? Only if you're cooking chorizo, because you're gonna fight one. You're gonna fight a golden chorizo. You guys ever see that on the Taco Bell menu?
And again, I love this area that you're in because it has a lot of like the Chozo architecture.
Right. And it's actually, there's some really cool stuff going on. Like when you go to fight that one, you have to like curl up in morph ball form and he walks you down.
Yeah. I got you, buddy.
Oh my god. Fuck that level. Fuck that boss. It was so that took me 6 or 7 tries to beat.
Was it like where he like dodges, he turns, he's like, ah.
It was me. Well, all right. So this is my first full playthrough of the game. I don't think I had enough. Like I'm looking at some of these pictures. You know, again, full disclosure, we usually have like a guide that we're looking at here, so we can help us like guide us through these things. I'm looking at some of these pictures. This person has 230 missiles. I did not have. I assure you, I did not have 230 missiles. I don't think I ever broke 100. So a lot of my boss fights in these ended up being like I would use what I had, and then I had to rely on the scraps that their little whatevers would give me. So it was like I'd waste everything, and then I'd have to like farm back up to a part where I could start shooting them again. So
this guy was a pain too, because those regular missiles, whenever I tried firing them at him, he'd just like go into like stealth mode.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, the key for that is to try to do it like while he attacks. Because you're more likely to hit him with the regular missile. Because I used the regular missiles on him because the super missiles he can just grab them. He's like ha, and then you got waste one. So
what I was doing,
I would always lose one. And
my super missiles, I would do okay, he's going to catch that one, and then I'll fire another one while he's holding the caught missile. Or sometimes if I could get him from behind, I would do that. Sometimes if you can get a headshot, it would work, but it's really hard to pull off.
But I usually had way more regular missiles, so I usually try to just use the regular missiles while he's attacking to make sure I hit him.
This person's got 230 missiles, 48 super missiles, and 45 of those like
power bombs.
Bombs. Did you guys have anywhere close to that?
I had 40 super missiles. I had probably like 25 to 30 of the power bombs, and I had like 115 missiles.
Jeez.
They're super gamers. I think I had like 95 missiles, 40 super, and then I don't know how many fucking power bombs I had. I had like 30 something.
Jeez, I'm freaking trash. I'm not even close. I never broke 100 missiles. That's crazy.
Was this your first time playing through it all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is my second, so. You know.
The problem with that is that, and we'll touch upon it when we finish, is that like, yeah, it's helpful, but like at a certain point, like you're gonna have enough, and there's no reason to collect everything unless you just really want like the random one inning.
One thing you will need to collect is the screw attack. How do you feel about the screw attack?
That's me doing screw attack.
Oh, because I was going to say screw it.
Okay. I'm very unpopular opinion, I'm sure, is about to be unleashed by me, and I apologize to everybody. There's a couple mechanics in this game that make me feel like it's dated. And to me, some of the later things that you get are like, I think modern games can handle it better. Number one is the grapple hook. I think the physics are way wonky. I can see what they're trying to do, and I can see why it would be wonky. But man, they need like a physics engine to handle that right. And then the jumping, the screw attack specifically, it's like time it right, and you can keep jumping. And I mean, you know, you master it and you get used to it. But like some kind of indicator, maybe there is one, I just couldn't see it. But some kind of way to really understand it would be nice.
I think you'll enjoy the Prime games because they do both those things better later on in the franchise. So
the timing was really awful, especially if you're trying to change directions. Like even in that room with the golden chorizo, if you want to get in the top right corner to get the super missile upgrade, you have to like do a turn right and turn left, and you have to wait till he comes down and then like turn left. It doesn't it sounds very confusing. It is very confusing, and it's something you better get down because you're gonna need to you maneuver it correctly as you go through some of these sections.
I think if you can get the wall jump down, the sewer attack will be nothing.
Well, to me, the wall jump is also one of those things that I think could have been
the
in
wall
modern
jump,
games could be handled better.
The wall jump isn't necessarily needed for a lot of the game.
Well, especially once you get the freaking
Screw.
crazy jumpy.
But just saying, like I think that area where they have to teach you the wall jump, that's the only area where you're like really required to use it per se that I could think of.
It helps. It helps.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get the screw attack.
It's also annoying because you need to like somersault into it. You can't just jump into a screw attack. So you'd have to like have your momentum going in some way to get the screw attack, which isn't always easy to gauge.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do that. And then you can break the screw attack if you accidentally hit like up or whatever the control pad would be, but you can break it mid-air. Like, that's so annoying to me. But I liked it. It was cool visual and it's cool gameplay mechanic, but
yeah,
I think a little bit more work could be done on that.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.